Okay, so if you're anywhere near the digital gaming world, you're always wrestling with this question, right? Where does convenience tip over into actual risk? We're diving into these online platforms, places where real money changes hands for game top-ups, virtual items, sometimes even whole accounts.
Exactly. And that's why today we're doing a deep dive into one specific platform, Itemku.com. It's pretty popular for buying and selling all that digital gaming stuff. So our mission here is really to break down the evidence for you. Whether you're an active gamer or maybe just curious, we want to try and answer that key question. Is Itemku.com, legit? Or is it a scam? And we'll do that by looking at its successes, its scale, but also the user complaints.
Okay, let's start with the positives then. What makes, well, 500,000 gamers apparently trust this platform? What's the case for trust?
Well, first off, the scale is undeniable. The app itself, it's on the Play Store, and it boasts over 500,000 downloads. That kind of mass usage suggests it's not just some fleeting operation.
Right, 500,000 downloads isn't nothing. That's a lot of users.
And crucially, they've built this kind of huge one-stop shop. They offer a really wide range of products, top-ups, vouchers, in-game items, and yes, even accounts.
That account trading piece is interesting because, savvy gamers know that's often a high-risk area. A lot of game publishers, they strictly forbid account selling. So the fact that Itemku manages this at scale, it kind of implies they must have some system for handling disputes, right?
They seem to, yeah. And you see that commitment to being visible in their community presence, too.
Right.
Over 313,000 followers on Facebook, more than 32,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's quite a community.
Could have baked in numbers.
And importantly, they provide clear contact options. Email, a physical address, even a phone number. That kind of transparency is pretty key because, well, it suggests an established entity. Makes it harder for them to just vanish with people's money.
Okay, so big visible presence, lots of users, clear contact info. Sounds good on the surface, but we have to look beyond just follower counts, right? Let's get into the transactional feedback. What is the critical feedback the user reviews actually reveal when, real money changes hands?
Right, and if we tie this to the bigger picture, look at Trustpilot. Their rating is 3.7 stars, which is okay, it's adequate, but definitely not perfect. It points towards some friction.
3.7 suggests a mixed bag for sure. What are the specific complaints?
Well, they consistently seem to center on two main things. First, slow customer support response times. That pops up quite a bit. And second, and maybe more importantly, the way they handle refunds.
The refund issue. That often tells you a lot about a platform's policies. What's the deal there? Store credit versus cash.
This is where it gets really interesting from a business perspective. Users report that when a transaction goes wrong, maybe the item isn't delivered or something, they often receive store credit instead of actual cash back.
Okay, so not necessarily a scam in the classic sense, like taking money and running.
No, not exactly. But it's a clever mechanism, you could say, for protecting the platform's own cash flow, their liquidity. Think about it. If you put in, say, $100 and the deal falls through, that money stays locked inside Itemku's ecosystem.
Right. You're basically forced to spend it there eventually rather than getting your cash back to spend elsewhere.
Precisely. It helps them retain that capital and minimizes their actual cash outflow. It definitely benefits their bottom line.
So Itemku seems to be using its refund policy more to retain capital and maybe encourage future purchases rather than outright cheating users. But clearly it causes frustration. Hence the 3.7 stars. We should also mention, though, that many users do still find it easy to use for basic stuff, right? They mention helpful admin sometimes, despite maybe some loading issues.
Exactly. The core functionality, the day-to-day buying and selling for many, seems to work okay. It's when things go wrong, those more complex post-sale problems, especially involving refunds, that's where the frustration builds and likely drags down that rating.
It sounds like a high-volume platform that mostly functions, but its systems for fixing tricky problems or actually giving cash back are maybe slow or designed, as you said, to benefit the platform.
That sums it up pretty well, yeah.
So let's synthesize this. What does all this mean for you, the listener, if you're thinking about using Itemku.com? Legit or scam, where do we land?
Based on the sources, the overall picture suggests it's mostly trustworthy. It's not a straightforward scam operation. The huge user base, the app's popularity, the wide product range, the community presents these things, validate it as an established marketplace.
But there's a however.
There's definitely a however. Because they operate in inherently risky areas like account sales, and because of those user reports about slow support and, critically, the non-cash refund policy, caution is definitely advised. especially if you're considering making a large, high-value purchase. Maybe test the waters with something small first.
That's a really clear takeaway. Mostly legit, but proceed with caution, particularly on big-ticket items due to the support and refund structure. So here's something for you to think about. In this fast-moving world of digital goods, how much weight should you place on a platform having a massive user base versus maybe digging into the finer points of their customer support? Especially policies like offering store credit instead of cash back, which effectively keeps your money logged in. Definitely something to mull over next time you're browsing.